My name's Paul Cornell. I'm the writer of Episode 8, Father's Day. The actual plot was there, I think, from moment one, that something terrible and cosmic happens for the tiniest of domestic reasons, and it's the tiniest of domestic reasons that solves the something big and cosmic. It was going to be, very flatteringly, the special effects free episode with no monsters, which was just about the life of Pete Tyler. The Doctor would find out what other people thought of him while Rose saw him die over and over and was powerless to prevent it. And that would have been a wonderful change of pace and a wonderfully unique episode. But I immediately thought, I want some monsters. And so threw in some monsters and started riffing on what happens if she really does change it. And isn't that sort of an invitation for terrible things to happen? I think one of the things I wanted to talk about was how everybody becomes heroic and beloved once they're gone, and how especially everybody's relatives, everybody's dad was heroic. And I just wanted to explore that culture shock of Rose going into the past and discovering that her dad actually wasn't anything like the fairy tale image she had of him, but then actually, oh, he really was. I always like those figures of people who don't quite know what they're supposed to be or why they're there. And he's very much like my dad. Dad still has a fondness for, I've bought this gadget down the market. See, look, see how this works. And I think it's the world's oldest CD player. Huge, big buttons on top. And it was only £5. And there's an awful lot of that in Pete Tyler. There's that lovableness that comes from that. Sean Dingwall and Billie Piper, goodness, aren't they good? I mean, the chemistry they achieved together. I love especially what the costume department did. The fact that Pete's suit for the wedding, he's obviously just pulled it out of a wardrobe. It hasn't been to the dry cleaners. And that says everything about the character without anybody ever mentioning it. His attempts to look fashionable in 1987, I think those trousers are a little bit too short. The most amazing thing about the fashions of the 80s is the belief of us lot now that we didn't really wear anything as garish as television representations of that stuff, when actually we did. We wore that. It was mad, but we wore it. Like all the incoming writers, I assumed that on the new show I would have no budget at all. So originally all of our scripts were 3 men in a lift, and mine was formulated to be very much a base under siege, initially a pub under siege and then a church under siege. And Russell kept on telling us, actually, no, you've got more money than that. Make it bigger, make it bigger. And then after having said make it bigger about 5 times, he started going, no, actually make it a bit smaller than that. You've gone a bit too far, smaller now. The Reapers changed a lot from being kind of your actual cowl with nothing inside it with claws leaping out Grim Reapers to kind of almost dinosaurs walking about on 2 legs, kind of like predatory birds, to what we have now. And the thought that they could fly would just really kind of open things up quite a lot for us. I think the Mill have done a fantastic job of blending the two thoughts, that these are predatory animals that move like predators. And I don't think there is anything we are more hardwired to be frightened of than things bigger than us that actually move like predators. We have the baby Rose in this episode, and I was always thinking, well, she'll just yell at inconvenient points, won't she? And cast members are, needed to hand her from one to the other. But actually on set at the time was a very realistic looking prop baby, the stunt baby, which in between takes Sean was, kicking from foot to foot, doing keepy up on the head.